I wasn't supposed to be there that night. Seriously, I almost didn't go. It was one of those random Friday nights, you know. Long week, bad mood, just wanted to stay home, order takeout, and forget everything. But my friend Jake kept texting me, "Bro, just come out for one drink. 1 hour. That's it." I should have said no, but I didn't. And that decision changed everything. The bar was packed. Loud music, people laughing, glasses clinking. I already felt out of place. I grabbed a drink, stood near the corner, scrolling my phone like I always do when I don't want to talk to anyone. That's when I noticed him. An older guy, maybe late 50s, sitting alone. No phone, no drink, just watching people. Not in a creepy way, just calm. Almost like he didn't belong there either. At some point, I went to the counter to order another drink. And yeah, my card declined. Again, I felt that wave of embarrassment hit me instantly. The bartender gave me that look. "You know the one. Try again." I did. Declined. Behind me, people were waiting. I could feel their eyes. My chest tightened. Never mind," I muttered, and I started to step away. Then I heard a voice behind me. "Put it on mine." I turned around. It was him, the older guy. I immediately shook my head. No, I'm good, really." He didn't even argue, just looked at the bartender and nodded. "Add it. Beep. Done." I stood there, frozen. "Why would you do that?" I asked. He shrugged. Slight smile. "Because I've been there. Simple. No big speech. No drama. Just that." We ended up talking. Not even deep stuff at first, just random conversation. Where I worked, what I did, normal things. But there was something about him. He listened. Like, really listened. Not like most people who just wait for their turn to talk. After a while, I told him the truth. I wasn't doing great. Job was unstable. Bills piling up. I felt like I was stuck. Like no matter what I did, I couldn't move forward. He nodded slowly, then leaned in slightly and said, "Can I tell you something?" I said, "Yeah." "Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they quit too early or they never take the risk in the first place." I let that sink in. He continued, "You're closer than you think. You just don't see it yet." I laughed a little. "Doesn't feel that way." He smiled. "Yeah, it never does." We talked for maybe another hour. Then he stood up, reached into his pocket, pulled out a small card, and handed it to me. "Call me next week," he said, "if you're serious about changing things." I looked at the card. No company logo, nothing fancy, just his name and a phone number. Before I could ask anything else, he was already walking away. And just like that, he was gone. I went home that night, confused. I kept looking at the card, thinking, was that even real? Days passed. I almost didn't call. Honestly, I figured it was just one of those random moments that doesn't mean anything. But something kept bothering me. That sentence. "You're closer than you think." So, I called. He picked up on the second ring. "Glad you called," he said, like he knew I would. We met the next day, not at a bar this time, at a quiet coffee shop. That's when things got real. He asked me questions no one had ever asked me before. What do you actually want? Not what your parents want, not what your friends think. What do you want? I didn't even know how to answer. That's when I realized something. I had been living on autopilot, doing what was expected, not what I actually wanted. Over the next few weeks, he became kind of like a mentor. Not in a formal way, just guidance, advice, perspective. He never gave me money, never handed me anything. Instead, he gave me something way more valuable: clarity. He pushed me to apply for jobs I thought I wasn't good enough for, told me to take risks I was scared to take, forced me to step out of my comfort zone. And yeah, at first, it was uncomfortable, terrifying actually. But slowly, things started changing. I got a better job, started making real money, got out of debt. For the first time in years, I felt in control. Months went by. Then one day, I asked him something I had been wondering from the start. Why me? Out of all the people in that bar, why help me? He leaned back, smiled slightly, then said, because someone once did the same for me. Of course. But here's the part most people don't understand, he added. They helped me, and I did nothing with it. I frowned. What do you mean? I wasted the opportunity, ignored the advice, stayed the same. He paused, then looked me straight in the eyes. I don't want you to make that same mistake. That hit different, because suddenly, this wasn't just help, it was a second chance. Not just for me, but for him too. Time passed, almost a year. And then one day, he didn't answer my calls, or my messages. Days turned into weeks. I got worried, so I went to the coffee shop we used to meet at, asked around. That's when I found out. He had passed away, Just like that, gone. I sat there for a long time, staring at the empty chair, thinking about everything. That random night, that one small act, that conversation, how it all led here. And then it hit me. His question, from the very beginning. When it's your turn, will you do the same? A few days later, I walked into a small diner, and yeah, I saw it again. A guy at the counter, card declined, embarrassed, trying to walk away quietly. I didn't even think. Stepped forward and said, "Put it on mine." Beep. He turned around, confused. "Why would you do that?" he asked. I smiled, just like he did. Because I've been there. And in that moment, I understood something. Some things don't end. They just get passed on. Your turn.